Yeah, the title of tonight was you read it badly, and it wasn't worth it in the first place. And yeah, I mean, as a preacher, and you can come out of, you give your all, and you could have been, you could be preaching hellfire and brimstone, and then someone will come at the end of the service, shake your hand, and say, "Lovely sermon, minister." And actually you're thinking, did you hear a word of it? Or sometimes you go, well, didn't agree with that. And where did you get? And I have had in the past where I've said I've quoted someone, and someone in the congregation didn't agree with it, and they tore into me about it. So I've learned, if I'm making a quote, or if I'm saying something that people might think is a little bit strange, I always reference it. A little bit like doing reference for an essay. Because then if I've said something, I can say, actually, that comes from. And so you're deflecting it a little way away from yourself. And it also means that you're proving that you're just not making it all up. That you have looked, and you're saying to them, go and look yourself. Put the criticism back. And our job is to encourage people to look at the Bibles for themselves. I once did a straw poll in churches where everyone had been in church all their lives. And I asked them the question, who told Eve not to eat the fruit? And everybody said God. Go and read the story again, because Eve hadn't been made when God told Adam. And, I said to this congregation as I was preaching about it, actually, don't believe everything the preacher tells you, because we get it wrong. We are to encourage our congregations to read for themselves. So that's one thing. The other thing is on delivery. Try and speak slower than you think you'd normally do. Because when you're nervous, we speak really quickly and we try and get all our words out. But if we speak slower, it also means that some people in churches are hard of hearing, but they won't admit it, and they won't put their hearing aids in. But they can lip read. So if you speak slowly, then they will understand you. It's just being, oh, hello, Fet's got a little visitor. Hello. Being aware, being aware of our congregation. You can read what the congregation are reading back to you. If they're all sitting there looking sort of like that, you need to wake them up. You want to get that two-way response. Just as the Bible is a dialogue, so is preaching. And that means look at the congregation. I mean, I don't mean eyeball someone in particular, but actually look around the congregation. And I have a problem at the moment where in the church where I am, the congregation is in a wide arc. And so I'm struggling because I'm having to look over there and over there, which is a bit of a problem, but it is important to look at the congregation, you know, to make that, because again, it's, as we said with the Bible, it's a dialogue. What else did I say? Oh, yes, length. Funny enough, we were in Bible study today and we were talking about length. And, you know, I spoke to one, I was saying, if you can't say what the whole message in 3 minutes, go and rewrite it. Because, you know, yes, we can unpack, we can repeat, we can, you know, we can unpack it, but the whole message, you know, shouldn't be rambling. Just try and keep it succinct, you know, so that people will remember it. If we wander off point, we've got it. And then avoiding offence. Years ago in Wales, I can't remember what they actually said, but a preacher made a generalization about women that stayed at home, not wanting to be in the workplace or not being bright enough or something like that. By gum, I had to go at them. You know, don't make generalizations because, you know, yeah, everybody in the church is different. The same with, I don't know, I've mentioned this, we had a children's talk and I was liaising with the visiting preacher and I told them, do the only children who are there are not children. They are 15, 16 and 17. So your family time has to address older teenagers. Unfortunately, the visiting minister came and said, hello, this is my little teddy bear who's going to tell you a Bible story. You know, that gave offence. So when we're preaching, be mindful of who's in our congregation. Be mindful who is listening. Be mindful that we might get it wrong. And if we get it wrong, say, yeah, fine. Let's talk about it. Show me. Because we are all learning. You know, I'm learning, Jade's learning, Ashley's learning, Margaret's learning. We will never stop learning how to preach. You know, never. Yeah, I think that's about it from me. If that's helpful. Yeah, Margaret?